Vegas time, Danny Vegas World. It is the podcast special spot. Can't even talk. The special podcast edition of the Danny Vegas Live Show. Now, what we're doing, for all you folks that are like wondering what's going on, we're trying to show that WCOBM not only is a light year ahead. We are the number one streaming network in the world, because we are a network, and that is where the value of WCOBM is, that you are part of a network, that we are streaming out there. But there is an element of people out there that like to do podcasts. Well, we have a studio. We have a podcast arrangement. We can do that. If you want to do a podcast, you can do a podcast. So, and I kind of just thought, I didn't have any guests today. I didn't have a co-host. The co-host is in Germany today, so she couldn't make it. So I said, let's go back and do a little old school. Let's do a little old style, and let's create some audio content that I can kind of massage and pretend and work around and look around as far as distributing this audio content. And so I needed to create some. So as we created some, what's what we're doing today. So anyway, segment 2, we're out the door now, man. We're into the meat and potatoes of the show. Now, I know y'all heard about it. Yeah, some of you might care, some of you might not. But we have Bill O'Reilly, you know, the big guy at Fox, went on vacation, and they just tell him to keep on going. Keep on rocking. Keep on, don't come back. You're fired. Now, to most of the people in America, and to me myself, Bill O'Reilly has lots of money. He's going to be just fine. But there's a lesson to be learned here. Now, if you haven't heard, it appears that Bill O'Reilly was a little bit too frisky with the ladies. You know, I guess according to reports, which I don't know if they're true or not, he says they're unfounded. But you don't fire a guy that makes you $100 million a year in advertising sales. You don't fire a guy you're paying $20 million a year. You don't fire him unless... Yeah. Hey. Billy, what you doing? Billy! William! What you doing? It seems like Billy's a little too frisky with the ladies. All right. Well, gentlemen, let me tell you right up front. Let me put it right up there in front, right where your thick skulls can get it. Women in the workplace deserve a place to work. They deserve a place to go to work, be professional, do their job, and not have to worry about you. Now, I know that's easier said than done. I've been saying for decades, you get men and women in the same place, I don't care what environment it's in, someone's going to be hitting on somebody. Someone's going to be saying something. Someone's going to make a crack. Someone's going to send a wrong signal. Someone's going to pick up a wrong vibe. And something's going to be said. And here we go. And at the end of the day, you're called in the office. And you're looking foolish. You're looking stupid. And this can happen for men and women too. I don't think women get called in the office for that. Maybe a female supervisor has to call a gal in and say, you know what, you need to get them skirts down a little bit. They're a little bit too high for this office. I don't know. I'm never in those conversations. But gentlemen, there are, 2.5 billion women in the world. Can you leave the ones at work alone? Can you just leave them alone? You know, there's other women out there. I know I told you. Keep off those dating sites. Okay, but that doesn't mean prey for the women at work. Prey as in, like, you know, a tiger and stuff. Now, I know, gentlemen. I know you get to know these gals at work. You build that rapport. You know a little bit personal about their lives. You know what kind of car they drive. You might know what part of town they live in. Oh, you might know what type of football team they like. And oh, you like football too. And oh, the gal at work is so cool. That's because you kind of know her a little bit. You kind of have somewhat of an inside track a little bit because, you get to talk to her every day. But that doesn't mean you give her the best line you got. And oh my God, if this gal works underneath you, get smart, okay? 2.5 billion women on the planet. You don't need to horse around with the 10 that are working in your office. I know it happens all the time. I'll tell you the story. I've said it before. I remember when I was a young, strapping young man working in a warehouse situation. My female supervisor always used to say, "Wow, I wish I could find you underneath my Christmas tree." And it was a joke. It was in the 80s, so it was kind of a joke. She was 30-some years older than me. So what do you do? And it was always kind of a joke, But at the same time, I guess, if you want to get into the definition, I was probably out of line. Certainly out of line. So, gentlemen, if Bill O'Reilly, who pops off $20 million a year, all right, brings in $100 million into that network, if he get put in a position where that guy gets fired, believe me, you $10 an hour bitches, you're gone. You're not even worth waking up in the morning for. So my advice to you, like I said at the beginning, these gals deserve a place to work. They deserve to go to work. They deserve to do their job. And deserve to make their money. They deserve to compete for higher positions and promotions and all that stuff. And they need to be put in an environment where they're not under some type of stress because you've got the Twitter patient for them. Now, I know it happens. I know there's dating relationships at work. I know people hook up. I know that happens. It's human beings, and that's the way human beings are. But I always say, and especially for the guys, because I know. You have a great rapport with this gal, and you think you can say something cute, and it's funny, and maybe she laughs, so you think, oh, she laughed, that's funny, she's cool. You know what? Don't put yourself in a position where you can have something come back on you on that, and it was all because you were just trying to be cute. You're all trying to send a signal over there like, I kind of like you, and, So just do yourself a favor. Figure it out. Because if old Bill O'Reilly, can get canned from a $20 million job because, quite frankly, he was a little frisky with the women, maybe a lot. We don't really know. Because it's all going to come out now. Because believe me, our white liberal establishment, oh my goodness, to them, there's blood in the water and the sharks are coming, baby. So why put yourself in that position? And ladies, I'll tell you straight up, if that's happening to you, you've got to go to a supervisor. You've got to go and get it taken care of, because if you let it keep going, I don't know, I think most women say they can handle it themselves, and probably maybe you should at first, but hey, you need to go talk to a supervisor about it. Most corporations have policies about this stuff nowadays, which is good, and you need to do that. Gentlemen, like I said, we'll end the segment here. But the gals at work, the gals you work with, just salute them. All right, we'll be back for segment 3 right after this.